What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two Knicks Chicks. I'm your girl, Lady and the Chef, joined by my co host this evening.
D Black's 21. What's up?
Well, the Knicks have gone up 2-0 against the Philadelphia 76ers. So they snagged the first two at home, which is great because we all know with home court advantage, landing in the second seed, the Knicks needed to land in the get those first two games at home at the Garden. And actually, you had the honors of being able to experience a playoff game. So yeah, tell us how it was. I mean, we know the outcome of the game, but the energy, how was the energy there? How did you feel being able to experience a Knicks game, a playoff game? And just tell us the vibes and the energy and how was it?
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, it was electric. I don't know what was the most exciting part, if it's that last 8 seconds or when you're leaving the garden. Like, but just overall, just being there, like, you know, we've been into a regular game, and I'm quite sure a lot of people have been to like a regular game, but a playoff game, like you always say, it's a different animal. It's a different atmosphere. Like,
Right.
man, you whoa, it's like it's indescribable. And then you just, I think it brings out more friendlier people in New York because you people high fiving each other and for the front to the back and just like, and when they miss the shots, you just hear them like, oh, you could hear it like on, at home, and then when they hit it, like, man, it's, you would think that everybody won the lotto there, like, because it's a community, like, oh, and then the chants, FMB, yo, those were loud. I mean, you could help but distinguish what they were saying.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, like, it's a whole different animal just to be there in person for a playoff game.
Right.
Like, and the crowd, man, you think they behind you in a regular game? They are boisterous, loud. They will get down on their home team. Man, oh man, your true fandom comes out at a playoff game. And when you leave it, like the crowd, how they all gather as they walk. I got footage too. When you walking out the MSG, everybody got their phones on recording, and they say, "We want Boston." I was like, well, I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm doing too. Let's take it one series at a
Right.
time. But they like chanting, "We want Boston." Like, just the crowd, just out there, and people out there recording. I guess they got their own little podcast and own little TV shows or whatever. But it's, man, if I could get a chance ever, I would definitely go. Maybe, hopefully, next year get them tickets soon. But it was awesome. That's an awesome experience, man. It's nothing like it.
Yeah, and I mean, I highly recommend to go to a Knicks game for those of you who are in the chat or watching and you've never been. And lucky for Diva Lock, she actually got to experience going to a playoff game, which is the intensity and just being able to experience that is like nothing else. So I highly recommend to be able to go to a game. But I wanted to know also like what was it like to witness the energy of the Knicks and watch them be able to figure out and crawl into that game at the end with that madness that happened that I was texting you throughout the ending of the game and I just think that being there in person is a different story, but of course just watching it. But did you notice anything or see anything with guys during timeouts that we don't necessarily get to see because it cuts to a commercial for those of us watching at home or maybe at a bar? There was times where I saw where Josh Hart was like going up to Brunson and like kind of grabbing him by the head, like, come on, man, like, shake that off. And we know Brunson still remains composed and focused no matter what, even with him struggling in these first two games. But was there anything that you noticed with players or the team in general or from a coaching standpoint that you witnessed that stood out for you?
No, like just overall, you could like they don't get down on themselves. Like it like they gonna they continue to scrap and like even Hart said, one of his things how we grind, we grit, we like so it wasn't like so like heads down and like ever feel like deflated. They always knew they had it and they
Yeah,
stayed within it. Because they knew it was at a stone's throw, just one turn of event, two baskets, one basket, two baskets, and the ties turned. And we saw that when Bogey hit those two threes back to back. So and like him, case in point, he didn't have the best game. He didn't play the most minutes, but he know that as a shooter, I believe in myself, and I know what I can bring to this team, and I know I can help them in
right.
some fashion. So again, just by him not giving up and just shooting those threes, that was a catalyst to turn things around. Um, and we all know Brunson's, struggled the first two games. He's like 16 for 55. So that struggle's there, but he hit that key basket when it was needed. So, could he, he believed in himself, and you as a player, you bet on yourself. So they didn't give up. Like
Right.
just though that last those 8 seconds, when Devo Hartenstein got that rebound, just scrap, it started from Maxi, which and I heard a lot of podcasts. He didn't get fouled and he lost the ball, so you know that's the way that the cookie crumbled. The ball bounced, and they just stayed resilient for the most part. And man, it just to have that crowd behind you, everybody was in attendance, man. The only person I didn't see was Tracy Morgan, but there was a lot of people in
Yeah,
attendance.
I didn't see
They
him
did
either.
celebrity, yeah, when they did celebrity row. But man, I'll tell you, that's if I can ever get another chance, I would bat an eye to go to another playoff game.
Yeah, claim it. I mean, you will definitely be able to go again. Salute to the chat. Hit the like button, guys, if you're here watching. It takes a second. Just hit it. Salute to Sharice Duncan. He said, we literally had a 4% of winning that game. Their comeback was crazy. Yeah. So it started off, I believe, at a minute. So they had about a minute left. Um, and I actually, right before we got on, Bleacher Report posted a fan's cell phone video. And we all know cell phone videos, whether it's Android or iPhone. And I will say, as an iPhone user, Android cameras are a lot better. But that video wasn't shaky. It wasn't rocky. It was very sturdy. This was just a fan who was just standing, had very good seats behind the basket while Maxi got the ball. And I watched it 3 times before we went on. He didn't get fouled because at that angle that the fan was we saw it from behind. So we didn't get to see it from the angle of the Phillies bench area. So
Yeah.
that's where the fan was right there. And I watched it, and again, it was very clear. There was no one in front of the camera. He didn't get fouled. So
No.
that was actually great non-call by the referee to not call that because they could have blew the whistle, which could have changed the momentum for the ending of that game.
Oh yeah.
But he didn't get the foul. And then kudos to Josh Hart for grabbing a ball when Maxi tried to throw it across the floor. And, then they got the opportunity. And then because Embiid is hurt, Hartenstein was able to get the rebound. That's how because Hartenstein was standing at the free throw line. So he was able to run in, grab the board, got on the floor, got scrappy. He threw it out to Anunoby. Anunoby throws it to Devo. Devo misses the first one. But also, even before that, Dante DiVincenzo, because Brunson had got caught up, he was able to wiggle his way out of that 2-3 man defensive end, and then that's how that play was set up from the rip. So now we go back. Devo shoots the three, misses it. We get the rebound. We get it back to him. And shout out again, we always talk about how OG is the little things he doing the impact. OG could have said, well, let me take the three.
Yeah,
He gave it to the right player. It's trusting each other. And we've been preaching this the whole time. It's the trust. Some people, I told you there was a caller that called in to one of the stations. I don't know who it was on ESPN radio. And the caller said, I think Mitchell Robinson should start. And you and I immediately was like, no, don't try to fix what's not broken. You know
exactly.
what I mean? I think the case of what Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein do, they both know when to step up and do what they need to do and do their jobs when they come in, right? I thought game one, Mitchell Robinson did an excellent job on Embiid, guarding him. He made it tough for him. I thought he did what I was looking for, which was make it hard for him to get the ball, challenge him. I thought in yesterday's game, I didn't think that both Mitch or Hartenstein did a good job with that as far as like making it harder for Embiid. I
Yeah,
thought Embiid was able to get the ball at his spots and do whatever he wanted to do. There was times, yes, I thought Hartenstein and Mitch at the times that he did guard Embiid, I thought they did a lot of great close up, face up defense, and it was just better offense. Embiid was still able to get the shots off that he wanted to. Hurt knee and all, Embiid is still producing the numbers that he's producing, and same thing with Maxi. I thought Maxi, for some reason, I was a little frustrated at some point during yesterday's game because Maxi is doing what Josh Hart normally does. He's driving to the basket and getting the simple layups. The difference is when Josh Hart is driving to the basket, Kyle Lowry, Oubre, or Embiid is tapping that ball out of his hand, or whoever's driving to the basket. So the Knicks have to do a better job protecting that ball like it's a football when they're going up for that layup, because clearly these guys have good hands. They're not afraid to poke their hand in and swap that ball away. But I thought on a defensive end, I thought the defense was okay. I didn't think it was to the best of what we've seen from the Knicks. I thought it was okay. I think that while I'm happy the Knicks got that win, I thought the Knicks won that by the skin of their teeth. And part of the reason why I think that one of the things that's kind of like I don't know why we're not doing this is two things. Even though the Knicks outscored Philly in yesterday's game in points in the paint, the Knicks still are settling for shots. If you look at what Maxi is doing, he's driving. Granted, it's only Maxi and Embiid, but he's driving to the
driving.
basket. And it
Yeah.
blows my mind because Philly is not good. I'm like, the Knicks could get a nice lead on these guys if they take it to the basket and drive.
'Cause their bench is making zero contribution. When you look
Exactly.
at their bench, the other first game they was 7 points. I think yesterday's game was what 10, I think, or something
Yeah.
like that. So their bench is making. I mean, that's like zero, compared to what we're doing. So Maxi's not doing any. Yeah, yeah, he hit some threes and stuff early on because he hit like three back to back. Yeah, but then he's mixing it in where he's driving. So outside of that, like what the Knicks, they can contain them. So they got to figure out, um, you know, I- with Maxi, they really have to figure that out.
Yeah, the Knicks have to figure out a way to stop Maxi because I think you let Embiid score the points that he's scoring. Embiid is going to do what Embiid does, but I think the Knicks have to figure out a way to, I think, make it harder for Embiid. One, I think he needs a little bit more of a challenge defensively, right? I get that some players they're just a beast at what they do offensively, and no matter how well or great of defense you'll have on a good player, the offense is just going to be better, right? And then I think with Maxi, at times I saw OG guarding him. I saw Josh Hart guarding him. And the only player I really saw that was steady enough to guard him was Miles McBride. I thought Deuce, for the most part, was able to keep up with him, and we already was discussing this how he should be on him. Um, but one of the things that I noticed that Philly has done very well these first two games, they're applying the pressure, the front court pressure on Brunson, so he can't even get the ball. For the love of God, this is what I'm trying to tell the Knicks to do. Give them the same energy that they're giving you. Don't even allow Maxi to get the ball. Make Brunson can't ever bring the ball up the floor. It's not even just because they have a taller Batum or they have a taller Oubre on him. They're on him like white on rice. And that's what I want the Knicks to do to Embiid. That's what I want the Knicks to do to Maxi. Why is Maxi able to bring that ball up and y'all at the other half court line, y'all waiting for him to come to bring the ball down? Why? Why are we doing that?
I mean, kudos to Nick Nurse, man, for putting, that 6'7" Uber on your best offensive player. Kudos to him, and this is what Tibbs has to figure out for Maxi. You know, they
Exactly.
tried, OG, but for me, from a bird's eye view, I don't think that is the best coverage for him. Somehow, because Maxi is quick, you need to match his speed for speed. Unfortunately, in this case, it's not height over height, it's speed for speed. I mean, they tried it. I mean, I don't think um OG is the best defensive coverage for him. He did, there was some, moments here and there, but as far as defensively, I think Deuce is a better coverage for Maxi.
Agreed. I rewatched that game so many times today. Maxi is getting past OG. He's getting right past them. And the same way Josh Hart has that spring, that extra pep, that hoppiness to his game, and he's doing that quick shift when he go to lay the ball up. That's the same thing Maxi is doing. But I think that and I say kudos to Jalen Brunson for being able to still produce and give you 20 whatever points he's giving you. It's a struggle 20 points he's giving you because he's been off. And I think, like you said, it's the credit to Nick Nurse and the attack on the defensive end and what they're doing against Brunson. Brunson could still cook players no matter what, one on one. He's just really been off. Do I think
Yeah.
that Brunson will have a great game Thursday? Yes, I think Brunson will be able to pick it up. My only thing is, okay, if he's hot, I don't need the rest of y'all to get quiet. Supporting cast, still do your job.
Yes.
Still do your job. Still, whatever that means. Bogdanovich, you make your shots here. Deuce, you do what you do. Everybody still contribute. And I think the Knicks have done a good job doing that. But I think my biggest thing is they have to figure out a way to not only just figure out making both Maxi and Embiid's job a little harder offensively. I think for game three, the Knicks are going to have to watch out for Oubre. Watch out for Laurie because they may try to say, okay, well, we got to help them out and contribute because right now it's just Embiid and Maxi doing
Yeah.
all the work. But I think the Knicks are going to have to watch out for those other guys or bench players who may come in and decide maybe Buddy Yield may have a good game, whatever. The Knicks just need to be prepared defensively to watch out for whoever may try to contribute from Philly.
Yeah, and that's what Oubre reminds me of that one game when the Knicks was playing Miami, and Josh was so focused on shutting Butler down that I think he was scored zero, maybe two something. He didn't score a lot because his focus was so, my thing was, oh, I'm gonna shut Jimmy down, and he did for somewhat, and that's what Oubre is doing with Brunson. That he's not scoring it, and he typically can give them 12, 14 points. I think that there's going to be a shift there. You
Because they
know,
need an offensive contribution from him. Yeah,
exactly. Home, they're going to feed up their home crowd. So now they're going to come out for a door fight because Embiid still think that they're the better team, and I guess rightfully so. He should think they are, but they gotta watch come Thursday. There's definitely gonna be some, offensive, and Nick Nurse is gonna make adjustments because, those are points that they can potentially need. Because hypothetically, if he were to give them those 12 points, that could be deciding factor for the game.
Right.
So Nick Nurse is definitely going to make some adjustments for Uber. He's going to continue to, try to, make it difficult on Brunson, but he's going to also look for his shot as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think the Knicks also, one of the things that I'm noticing, and I don't know, like you being there live also, like we're having slow starts against Philly. The first quarter I'm looking is 16-5, 16-2. It's slow starts. And I think part of that is, I don't know if you like, if you or and anybody in the chat noticed this, like there was a couple of times again, and I'm not expecting Josh Hart to shoot the ball every time he gets it. I'm not expecting that. But there was certain times where I'm like, why? Like in the fourth quarter, I said, why is Josh passing it? You're wide open. Shoot it. They're not guarding you. Because Philly is looking at Josh Hart as if
A
that's
non-threat,
luck.
yes.
Like he's just lucky. That's how they're looking at you. Like you're just lucky. That's not your game. Josh Hart, shoot the freaking ball, my guy. Shoot it. He's trying to pass it and he's making an extra pass. He did that like maybe two, three times in the fourth. I said, why is Josh doing that? Just shoot the ball. Why are you doing that? They're not guarding you. They're not even worried about him. If you notice, they still have him open. I won't be surprised if in game three they continue to leave him open because they're probably like, he's on a lucky streak. That's what's happening. He's been lucky by making those 3 pointers. I don't
Mhm.
think so. I believe he's worked on those 3 pointers, but I don't want to see him be passive in the decision making on should I take the shot or am I'm just going to go ahead and make the pass. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I think, like, I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I did for the last game as one of my keys for the game is that the Knicks can't afford to start off slow on Thursday
oh, for sure, for sure.
because
And
what's happening, they're having to climb back into the game. We've been talking about this too lately. I feel like a broken freaking record. They're
yeah,
having to crawl back into the game, and then it's like Philly goes up by 9, maybe 10. The Knicks will cut it down to 7. They just can't get it back down past 7. And now the fourth quarter is when we really trying to grind. Let's not do that to ourselves. Let's drive, get a nice, comfortable lead, and maintain it. Do we always have to be on edge every game? Do we always have to be on edge every game and we're down by 2, up by 4? It's nerve wracking. Why do we do this? Why do the Knicks do this to us? Why do they
yeah,
do it to themselves?
I said the same thing because, like you said, the only offensive threat is Maxi and B. So why and guys are contributing. You got Hart. Devo. He made a nice contribution. We have 5 plays in double figures. So like, what's the struggle? It's not so much as a struggle. I think is because for me, Brunson's been off, but there's a but the beauty is that although he's struggling, we do have players that are able to show up, in his place. But
Right.
don't make that contribution so hard. Why the point so hard to come by? You know, when you're playing catch up and you bring it to 7, it's now Maxi comes out here to 3. Now you're back up by 10. Like, just take the lead and just run with it because the Knicks are a better team, than Philly.
Yeah.
Um, in my estimate, not because I'm a Knicks fan, but they are.
Yeah.
You have guys that are just, making like some serious contributions that their players are not. Their starters and their bench players are just not, producing. So again, we have those players, that are showing up, and doing Brunson struggles. So
Yeah, I think that a salute to the chat. For those
salute.
of you who are joining in with us, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Hit that like button, guys, if you can. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Um, I think that the Knicks are definitely more aggressive and they're more scrappy and grittier than Philly. I think Philly really just has Embiid and Maxi who's carrying that team. And the numbers show, they're able to perform and give the team what they need. It just hasn't been enough. Now, I did watch that interview with Embiid having his head down the entire time. I think one of the sportscasters, I don't know if he was crying and he just had his head down and he didn't want to show. Um, he feels like they are the better team, and the pressure is on Philly to win because they shouldn't be down 0-2 to the Knicks, right? So I don't know if it was Hartenstein or Josh was saying they don't want to get comfortable just because they're up 2-0, because once you do that, then that's when teams start to climb back into it and make it an actual series, right? And this is why I don't want to get the broom out so soon, Corey Lee. I know you said you bought a broom from Dollar General. I don't want to get one just yet. And no, he did. He was on the morning brew. He said he bought a broom.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
don't want to get the broom out just yet. And it's not because I don't believe in my Knicks. I fully believe in this team. And I've been saying that this team has a story to tell and they will tell it, right? I think the Knicks are going to go against them being the underdogs is great because they have something to prove as an organization and something to prove to a lot of the haters and people who think the Knicks are a one and done team. And I want nothing more than the Knicks to go in on Thursday and gather that win out in Philly, right? Because that makes it even sweeter. And the Knicks can do it. I'm already claiming it for them. I could see them doing it. I want to see the Knicks take advantage of getting players in foul trouble. I've only been asking for this like a wish list, um, because Philadelphia really doesn't have anyone. Like, why are we not getting Kyle Lowry in foul trouble?
He had
Why are we
five,
not getting? No, he did. He
but
did, but he still
that
was managing to play the whole damn game. Because so you didn't
yep.
do a good enough job in doing that. We're not getting Embiid in foul trouble. You're not getting Maxi in foul trouble. You're not getting Oubre in foul trouble. You're not getting Buddy Yield in foul trouble when he's in, and he has no answer, which is why he went right back to the bench. But I just think that the Knicks, if they play that kind of more of a, I don't want to say more so, but if they add more of the inside game, because I would like to see also Brunson find Mitch and Hartenstein down low. Take advantage. Take advantage of those easy buckets. Mitch and Hartenstein has proven they can make the free throws. So let's feed them the ball some more. And not even just Hartenstein. If you Devo, if you Josh Hart, try to get the big man the ball.
That's what I was giving. Some a coach saw said, we need to get MB in the pick and roll, and I was just going to
Yeah,
say,
agreed.
we definitely need more of that. That works like a charm, man. Yep.
And the
So
Knicks are not utilizing that. Like, we're making it a little bit hard, little too harder for ourselves to put those points on the board. We could score, but it's how we're going about doing it, which is why the game is so close. Knicks down by 7, Knicks only up by 7, and Philly up by 10, Knicks are down by 6. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I'm not expecting these guys to be up by 20, but damn, can you get up by 10, 12 points at least and maintain that throughout the game? Can you get up by 15 at least? I'm not asking for a lot, but why are you stressing us all out? You know what I mean? Like I couldn't even sip my water because I was watching game. I said, "Oh my God, what's going on? What's happening? What is going on?" The ball was over here, people on the floor. The ball was in the air, out at the perimeter line. It was a lot going on at one time. It was very intense. But I think if the Knicks can implement playing inside, get Embiid in foul trouble. Make him foul you. And it's gonna frustrate him. He was getting, and when he gets frustrated, he resorts to pushing people.
Yep.
He wanna shove you. He wanna try to step on your stomach. He gets mad. He gets frustrated.
Yes.
So use that as fuel to your advantage. Don't let and for the love of God, don't let them take you out of your game. I want the Knicks to play their style of basketball on Thursday. Don't deviate away from that, but take the ball inside. If the Knicks take the ball inside, the world is at their oyster for that game, for this series. It's theirs to take. Because the first two games, while I love a win is a win, and that's really the only two stats that matter for the first two games. That's the only stat that matters for the first two games. They were close wins. They're too close for comfort. I need the Knicks to buckle down a little bit more for Thursday and finish off that game, or rather play that game one with we need a quicker start. Remember how we played them throughout the regular season? It was quick pace, up the floor, quick, 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 quick.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a little too slow. It's a little too slow, and I don't know if that's because they have the pressure on Brunson. What do you think it is that's causing us to have this slower start?
Well, no, I mean, one of the stars is that Tibbs, he does. He needs to make the adjustment, and figure out that coverage that that the Sixers have on Brunson. Anytime you put a 6'7" guy on somebody that's what's Brunson 6'2", um, it just by him the struggles that he's going through,
Right.
he's not able to though his points are not coming easy. Put it like
Right.
that. They're not coming easy. So there is some struggle there. He's not, the quickness and just able to, loosey goosey as Clyde call it. You know, like I say, hats off to Nick Nurse. Just he's it's maybe bad to say, but he's playing chess right now when it comes to, how he's, that double coverage that he has on Brunson and just Oubre himself. So, but Tibbs has to like, figure out that adjustment and gets I don't know, have Brunson, he needs the coverage, like where is the help? I saw one time, not one time, but it was I think it was Hart. He was supposed to be setting a pick where he like deviated away. So like and then Oubre was still on him. So, that needs to like tighten up.
Hmm.
Because the Philly and they also switching their coverage on him, just putting taller defenders on him. So that's something Tibbs like really has to, hone in. I thought, that was something he was gonna work on in game two. But apparently he
No, there was no
he-
adjustment there. I
yeah,
noticed the same thing. It's
yeah,
funny because when Embiid set screens, I get he's a big guy. You're not getting past it. So our guards can't even, if they try to roll off of him and go around, there's no separation. And what's happening is Hartenstein and Mitch now are having to go on a guard, whoever has the ball, and Embiid is left open. You know what I mean? So sometimes he's getting the ball back, and now that leaves Mitch or Hartenstein too late to get out to him when he's shooting at three, and he's knocking them down. I mean, we got lucky with times, a few times where he didn't hit the three. I was like, they're lucky he didn't knock that down.
yeah.
So
He
there
just
has to be an adjustment there with the pick and roll when Philly's doing that. I think the Knicks, and another thing that was killing me too, I don't know why the Knicks are like, and I know you said it should be situational with the double teaming on Embiid, but they're not picking the right situations to double team. I think sometimes it was hurting us because we were double teaming. He was kicking the ball out. Philly was making an extra pass, and either they were getting a shot or somebody was right back down low and catching Embiid down low, and boom, easy basket. So we weren't doing a full double team, but it's like that help defense. Whoever was helping out, Hartenstein or Mitch, whoever, they was trying to help out on Embiid. But I just think that that's something else that we need to make an adjustment on. And I agree, King Ribby. We don't need Embiid going to the free throw line 15 times. And I think part of the reason why that's happening is because both Hartenstein and Mitch, they're not, they're allowing Embiid to get to his spots. He's able to catch the ball, real regular, catch the ball, whether he's on the perimeter or whether he's backing down with one hand, because he's not really backing down because his knee is killing him. So he can't do that. He's catching the ball. He's facing up. Hartenstein was right all in his grill. That didn't matter. But why? I applaud the effort on the defensive end. You're right up on him, but you allowed him to get the ball. You didn't make it hard for him to get the ball. You know what I mean? So when you just make it so easy for him to just catch and set up how he want to set up, he gonna go to work. And that's what Embiid is doing. Y'all not the Knicks are not making it hard for him to get the ball. Like, you gotta front face defense him, play defense on him. Sometimes you gotta have your hand out. You gotta do whatever it do and be on the tips of your toes to be playing defense. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you gotta be physical with him, but I just think that we're watching him get the ball and then he's going to wherever he wants to go. There's no the same way, like I said, the same energy Philly's given against Brunson defensively. We need to do that against Embiid and try to do that as much as you can against Maxi. Deuce should be making sure when Maxi can't even get that ball when they go to take it out, Laurie go to take it out. Let Laurie bring it up. You don't want Maxi bringing it up because as soon as he start bringing it down, he starts sprinting towards that basket,
Yeah,
he gets down in the lane, and he makes an easy free throw layup.
because
But I
Lowry's not as quick as Maxi.
exactly let him bring it up.
But that's a coach's thing that they have Maxi bring it up. That's something they just got to just make it difficult when Maxi's running, getting down in that paint and just making it so easy. Because he's not doing anything, especially that where they shouldn't be able to contain him.
Right.
So, look, some yeah, yeah, exactly. How about making MB play some defense? I agree because he can't jump. He has no spring in his steps. So it's not so much that he's this big old threat, blocking because he can't jump. So take it to him, and he's not so nimble as with that knee. So you force him to, So that's something that the Knicks need to work on because MB's not going. He's only going to do but so much because he's not 100%. You
This is
know.
why I said the Knicks need to get Mitch and Hartenstein more
Yeah.
involved.
Hmm.
I Tibbs and the assistant coaches, are y'all watching these games? Get the ball to Mitchell Robinson and get the ball to Isaiah Hartenstein a bit more than what you're doing. Because then you have those two big men, whenever they're in respectively, they can take it at him. Now,
Yeah.
Mitch needs the lob. Hartenstein could at least give you the floater. He clearly put more arc on his floater because yesterday they were going in.
Yeah.
He had more arc on it. Before they was a little short the first game on Saturday. Yesterday he had arc on them. They were going in. Great. But I think that because the defense is so their focal point is so much on Brunson. Brunson is able to get the ball eventually once we get past half court. Josh, whoever, they're able to set the screen. Hartenstein or Mitch is able to set the screen so Brunson could get open. But I think when Brunson makes his move to the basket, look to pass that off to the big man. Look to lob it up to Mitch. Listen, the goal is to get Embiid in foul trouble. He's chilling in that game because nobody's taking it to him. Everybody's just was settling too much for the jumpers.
Yeah.
I will say yes, Josh Hart. I've seen OG here and there. I've seen Dante DiVincenzo, kind of take it in, but he's blocking their shots or is getting swatted away. It's like they're running into a brick wall. But there is a better way because I seen where like twice where Brunson again, he drew the defense and he threw a nice bounce pass and Hartenstein had the easy dunk. But that's what I'm saying. Like play more of an inside game and let's not just settle for shooting shots all the time. While I think it's great when we're knocking them down, yes, keep shooting. I'm not saying to stop shooting, but I think that if we can get Embiid to play defense and get him in foul trouble, get Lowry in foul trouble, get Oubre in foul trouble, because Oubre was chilling. He, like you said, his only job, he said, well, okay, the task is to stay on Brunson, and I'm going to do just that. Why is no one attacking against Philly? They don't have anyone. All they have is two main guys that's doing all the work for them, whereas the Knicks have variety. The Knicks have options. Oh, you want to focus on Brunson? I'm going to hit Bogey. I'm going to hit Devo. I'm going to hit Josh. You know what I mean? I could hit Hartenstein. There's options on the Knicks team as to where we can go for scoring. But I think that guys have to figure out a way. McBride too. I would love to see McBride go in the lane more. He has the speed and the capability. We were talking about this before. Like, I don't know why he's not doing that more.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
same thing you see Maxi doing, you do the bring that same energy and do the same thing to them. He's not doing nothing special because I've seen you and Josh Hart do that plenty of times on the Knicks. So we'll see. I don't know. Exactly, Boulevard. He said get Embiid on his toes. Yeah, the Knicks have to make him get uncomfortable. He can't even move. But you can't just run right into him. And I don't mean run right into him, knock him over. I mean, you got to have repertoire when you're going to the basket. You see how Maxi is doing it? That's how the Knicks have to do it because it's going to force Embiid to try to reach his
Yeah.
hand out. It's going to
It's a
make him try to, exactly, make him play D. Yeah, I don't understand why the Knicks are not doing this. Get them in foul trouble on Thursday. If we don't take advantage on that regard, I'm telling you, we think Philly's been a challenge and giving it to the Knicks because they have. They haven't been going away. They're like a mosquito that just won't leave you alone. They're the pressure's more on Philadelphia because they're embarrassed that they're down 0-2 to the New York
to the
Knicks.
exactly.
It's to the Knicks that's making them feel like this. And because they're not really considered a 7th seed team, they're more like a 2-3 team. We know that they fold, but maybe they feel like it's a new day because they don't have Doc anymore. Now they have Nick Nurse.
Well, in their mind, they feel like they're 2C, but the Knicks are. So, and the Knicks, and but you know what? I'm just like excited for Thursday's game because I know Brunson is definitely gonna have. They play Thursday and they play again Sunday.
Sunday. Hmm.
He's definitely gonna have, and I believe it's gonna be that Thursday game. Um, Maybe it's because they played there, they're gonna have a large crowd, as far as just you know what they say,
New York fans.
Philadelphia. But yeah, they're gonna definitely have they're gonna have the crowd behind them, So and I think Thursday is gonna definitely be, and he even admitted, he knows, he said, I gotta do better, I gotta be better.
Who
So
said
and he
this?
knows what's at hand, the task at hand. Um,
Who
it's
said
just
this?
Brunson. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
yeah. He even said, I got to do better and be better. So again, he knows the task at hand. Um, he himself know he has to make some adjustments, and that's why I say, this is not going to be no slump for the whole series. You could count your money on that. You could bet on that. He definitely, will make that adjustment. I think it's just, 2 games he was struggling, and
Yeah,
it's ultimately up to, and he will.
agreed. So far, with you watching these two games, because I thought about this earlier, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts. How do you think this would have played out if we had Randall in the game?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think that the score would be as close. I mean, there's a lot of Randall's or the ISO, but for some reason, I believe that his contribution is still needed. Um, Even and definitely with OG, you know, Hartenstein. I don't. I truly believe that because you got to realize a lot of this is falling on Brunson's shoulder. That would have been that 1-2 punch. Look, Embiid and Maxi. So, although we got guys that are making, a hell of a contribution, Randall would be a difference maker. So
Agreed.
I believe that they're the blue Philly out of MSG, and then now take it to them in Philly. So I truly believe that we would definitely have a much better outcome. That's just my take. A lot of people, because Randall, he's, hold the ball, da da da, but he's able to bang down low. He's not afraid to, go in that paint, and he'll take it to somebody like Embiid, and get that foul. So I believe that we would have definitely had a different outcome with Randall. I mean, we won, don't get me wrong, but I think it wouldn't be such a tight, score wise.
Yeah. I think the score would be probably the Knicks would have won at least by 10. Um, like what Cleveland's doing against Orlando. And salute to Ron, still Knicks fans. Salute
Salute.
Ron. Um, yeah, I think definitely that is missing. You need that other scorer because right now teams are able to just lock in on our main guy, which is Brunson. Whereas when you have two guys plus the supporting cast and the role players, it would have helped having him there for sure. And just watching these two games, I'm like, damn, with the healthy Randall, he would have definitely helped out a lot with that much needed push scoring wise. Um, but the Knicks are doing what they need to do. They're making it happen. They're doing what they need to do respectively. Salute Aj.
Yeah, Russell would have his Batman to his Robin. So,
Exactly. Game two, OG Ananobi, he played 36 minutes. He finished with 10 points. He had one block, one assist, four rebounds. Josh Hart played 48 minutes, another long log minutes for him. But Josh Hart doesn't even look tired after the games. He played 48 minutes. He finished with 21 points. He had two blocks, two steals, three assists, 15 rebounds. I mean, this guy is he's Josh Hart is really stepping up, and I think this is needed. He has to.
they call him mini Starks.
I could totally see that. I could totally see that. Isaiah Hartenstein played 30 minutes. He had 14 points. He had three blocks, four assists, eight rebounds, not too shabby. And Isaiah Hartenstein actually came through in a clutch in that third quarter for the Knicks. I thought Embiid was getting the best of him in the first half. And then I felt like in the third quarter, we saw that January Hartenstein come out. And then in the fourth quarter, he had that nice block against Maxi when he went to drive in, which was much needed. So listen, I don't care if it's Hartenstein, if it's Robinson, whoever's in, just do your job when you're out there. Do your job. That's all we're asking. We're not asking for a lot from you. If you come out there and perform, hey, listen, I think Tibbs is doing keeping the best who he feels is best to be out there for the time being. And yesterday he gave a little bit more of the minutes to Hartenstein just because, just like in game one, it was more of Mitch game.
Bitch.
Now Thursday it may be Mitch's game again, so it just varies. But I think both of them, they're holding it down and doing what they need to do. Jalen Brunson played 37 minutes. He had 24 points. He had six assists and eight rebounds, so not too bad. I know it was a struggle for him. He did make seven free throws. Um, he was a little it was a struggle for him. He was definitely for the 3-point line. It was a struggle for him making those threes as well. Dante DiVincenzo also played 37 minutes. He had 19 points. He had 2 steals, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. Definitely needed Dante DiVincenzo. He was also 5 for 5 from the free throw line, which was much needed. I thought the Knicks have been doing a better job on the free throws too, throughout this series and knocking them down.
For
Because
sure.
they were struggling those last 5-6 games of the regular season, but they seem to have made a switch. Mitchell Robinson played 17 minutes. He only finished for 1 point. Miles McBride played 20 minutes and he had 9 points. Excuse me. He had 2 assists and he was 1 for 1, so he did hit his free throw. And then Bojan played 11 minutes. He had 6 points. He had 2 assists, 2 rebounds. And yeah, he was 2 for 6 from the 3 point line. So not too bad. So Precious Achua is on the listed as DNP, coach's decision.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So is Burks and so is Sims. I don't think
Burks I understand, but who cares about Burks?
yeah, I don't either, but I don't think Precious is gonna get any time in this series. It's not looking like it. I could be wrong, but so far, you know, the 8 guys, the 8-man rotation is holding it down. They're holding it down. Do you think Tibbs should give more minutes to either Miles or Bojan? You muted.
I'm sorry, what was that? Say that again?
I said, do you think Tibbs should give more minutes to Bojan or either Deuce?
Sure. Well, the first game Deuce played, he had 21 points. Um, definitely, I think they should get more minutes. But you know how Ted he was also situational. But I tell you that contribution when Bojan hit those two threes, like I said, like I alluded to when we first came on, that was key. So I think he should. Um, you know, I know Ajay mentioned something about OG needs to give more offensively. Um, and I think he should give Bojan more minutes. I think he could be key. Him and Deuce, and definitely Deuce is definitely that X factor for the Knicks. Um, yeah, yeah, and I believe Bowles, you can definitely, give us 12 on, he could hit 3 or 4, threes, and that could be key too. So yeah, for sure, I definitely think he needs to get more minutes. You know,
Yeah, I think if OG's not gonna, I think with OG, Tibbs has to play it like he does with Mitch and Hartenstein. Like if OG's a little bit more, I don't even want to say necessarily being passive, but not as aggressive. Even though he's making an impact in other ways, I think if he's not really giving us, I don't know, I don't more of a contribution, and I don't know in whatever capacity that may be, because he could be doing great defensively, but maybe offensively we're like. But to me, if you have Deuce is like hot, leave Deuce out there a little bit longer. If Bojan is hot, leave Bojan out there a little bit longer. Because Bojan's minutes, I don't know, like giving him 11 minutes is kind of like really. And I get it because he doesn't play great defense. So Tibbs has to opt in to give OG more of those minutes that he probably would give Bojan. But I don't know. I think that because even Deuce in yesterday's game, his first shot was an air ball. The
oh
crowd
yeah,
was like, Deuce. I was like, see, stop, because y'all hyping him up a little too much. But he made up for it. He didn't get in his head. He went out there, he played, he didn't let that air ball stop him. And, he came out and scored timely baskets that we needed. But I just think that maybe Tibbs should, in certain instances, maybe Instead of giving OG 35, 37 minutes, maybe play him 30, 32. Give those couple extra minutes to do. So give it to Bojan. So, you know, I don't know. I think I know that's a tough call because it's like you kind of have to see how it's going situationally. It's situational game by game, and that's a call that Tibbs has to make. But if you only going with 8 guys, yeah, I know you're not gonna have Brunson sit down and lessen his minutes, and
But
he's
I
not
guess,
gonna do that to Josh Hart either.
and then OG's, I guess primarily for defensive purposes.
Yeah,
I guess, that's Tibbs, way of guess rationing out the minutes. So in one instance you could understand, but at the same time you're like, okay, well, Bojan, he can, possibly give us 12, 15, who knows if given the minutes. So
yeah. Nick Yak said Josh Hart first half couldn't have been played any better. Yeah, Josh Hart, those timely threes have been crucial.
oh, I got a question for you. How did you feel about that reffing and those calls?
Throughout the whole tenure of yesterday's game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, I thought a couple of the calls with like Hartenstein playing on Embiid were a little ticky tack for me. I thought they were like bogus calls that they were calling. I didn't like those. Um, I don't know. I think there was a couple that they called like when Maxi drove and whoever else they said fouled him. They gave the foul. I didn't really like those. Again, I thought they were a little ticky tack that the refs were just calling for whatever reason. I don't know if they were tired, needed a breather, which to me, the first 2 games haven't even really been that up tempo for the refs to be that tired. But yeah, I thought that the calls were, for the most part, I thought, especially in game 2, I thought the calls were pretty even. I didn't feel like the refs were necessarily calling more in Philly's favor or calling more in the Knicks' favor. I thought the Knicks got the right calls that they should have. And, I thought that the refs, especially in the end of the game, they could have blown the whistle and they didn't. But again, when I watched the replay of that last play, when Maxi had the ball, he truly didn't get fouled. It looked like it initially. Like I was like, oh, I'm surprised I didn't hear a whistle. But for the most part, I would say the first 2 games so far, especially with yesterday's game, I felt like the referees were maybe minus 2, 3 calls. I thought that the whistle was blown right. Now Thursday game is going to be interesting.
Was it blown evenly, or when you say right, is it do you mean evenly or
I thought I don't know. I want to say even, but then again, there was certain calls that were called that were related to Embiid and Maxi that I thought they weren't good calls. That were called on certain Knicks players that I was like, that wasn't a foul. And then there was times where I seen like Jalen Brunson drove to the basket a few times, and I was like, foul, foul. And then finally they call. I'm like, where's the foul? What
you
does he
said
have
like
to do to get a foul around there? So
yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that I don't know. I think it was maybe 60-40 at times. I thought that for the most part it was called, the whistle was blown well, but I thought that there was times where the Knicks either were getting fouls called on them that weren't fouls, and then there was times where us Knicks players were driving and we should have gotten a foul.
No, I pose that question because you know, Philly's coach, he wants the league looking to the fouls being called the last 2 games. And me personally, there was some calls that I felt we didn't get, and we're like, are you serious? But he wants them to look at it. So that's one of the reasons why, I posed that question because again, from that bird's eye view, you like what? I mean, like who are you in somebody's pocket or something?
Right.
So it was just, and yeah, I felt, and then at times it was evenly called, um, and especially that last 8 seconds down the stretch, you know, there wasn't no foul. And I was even listening to Termini and Eddie Johnson. They both agreed that it wasn't a foul. Um, you
No,
know, no, so that's why I asked that question.
well, yeah, Nick Nurse, he wants the league to look at he was trying the whole play because he was trying to call a timeout,
Oh yeah.
but I didn't really see. Again, I watched it several times. I didn't see anyone else looking to call a timeout either. I didn't see Embiid or Laurie looking to call a timeout. They were just trying to get the ball from Maxi. Um, but the league could look at it all they want. We won the game.
Exactly.
They're not going to overturn the win because you want them to do an investigation. I think what we really have to pay attention to is while we're on the road and while we're out at playing in Philly and how the refs are going to be calling the game
Yeah,
because they may side more with Philly and try to make it an even up series or get them to get that one win. And I'm
yeah,
not saying that Philly's not gonna make a run to get at least one win. You know what I mean? Like it's bound to happen. Yes, would I love the Knicks to sweep them? Absolutely. But I think it's also a factor in we always say it's with the players and how they play, and then Tibbs, also the coaching. But I think it's also the refs because they may side and give all the whistles to Philly. And with the way the Knicks play being so physical, they may just want to call every little ticky tack foul on the Knicks just because. So, I think that's something else that we have to watch out for on Thursday and to see how the game is being called and how are the refs are going to be in favor more for Philly because they're home, or are they going to be siding, keeping it even, or are they going to, because the Knicks have the lead, maybe side a little bit more with the Knicks and look like they giving it to the Philly, but really they end up giving it to the Knicks at the end. I think the Knicks just have to do like what we were saying to a couple of minutes ago. Try to get Philly players in foul trouble. And I think the Knicks are gonna have to look to just being aggressive in the paint, and if they do that, then the refs will see, okay, the Knicks are playing an inside game. They're gonna get the foul. We're gonna call the fouls. They're foul. You are fouling, and that's all she wrote. I think that's what they're gonna have to do. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, not still Knicks fan. He said, yeah, yeah, the NBA is going to try and make it a series. I agree, but I agree wholeheartedly. But let's just hope that they're being fair and calling those fouls evenly. You know, just because Philly's at home, that doesn't mean that they should. We didn't get favorable calls. I mean, I felt the whistle at times. I felt that the calls was going against us.
yeah.
But you know, we the Knicks was able to grind it out. So
Jay said, did they release a last 2 minute report? I don't think so. I know
yeah,
they were looking into it because Nick Nurse did complain. He did say that he wanted the league to look into it. But remember when the Knicks, I think we played Houston and we
yeah,
had that whole thing. And what are they going to do? They're not going to overturn a win and say, well, you know what? They actually was going to win the game. What's done
exactly.
is done. You know what I mean? Like the Knicks won the game. That's it. But I do think that the Knicks have to come out and be prepared for Thursday because Philly is not going to back down. One, two, like we said, the pressure is on Philadelphia for the fact that they're supposed to the winning is supposed to be reversed. It's supposed to be 2-0. Philly's supposed to be up.
Yeah.
That's how they want this narrative to go. And people still have the Knicks counted out, which is crazy. People are still saying that this is all the Knicks are gonna get are these 2 wins because their people are saying that all we have is just Brunson, as if the other people on the team haven't been going to work and scoring.
I just saw something on Bleacher Report. Now all these awards was given out, the MVP, the MIP, Most Improved. I don't know if you've seen it on Bleacher, but Maxi did win it. We understand Devo was ineligible, but how is it that Brunson was like the fourth leading scorer in the NBA and he's wasn't up for anything? No, Nick was for that matter. Tiz wasn't
I'm
even
telling you.
mentioned for Coach of the Year. There was no Nick mentioned for anything. And this is what remember Jay Boogie
He
when
was
he was
coming
on
off
Morning
on
Blue
Moon and
Sports.
Brew. Hmm.
Yes, I mean,
If you guys haven't seen that episode, when did this come on? This
say
was
was
that
it yes?
yesterday?
It had
I
to
think
be
it
yesterday.
was.
It
Yeah,
was.
we was. So if you guys haven't watched Morning Brews 11 is it the 11 a.m. show that comes on?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 11 a.m. because I know Morning Brew, they like ESPN. They got a couple of shows they do Yankee Report, Ranger Report,
Okay.
but they come on at 11 a.m. guys and they go over Knicks talk. Jay Boogie was on that show and Jay Boogie went to church. He gave a testament. He got and salute to Jay Boogie. Jay Boogie got so emotional, and rightfully so, because as true Nick fans, I felt it. Like he stopped me in my tracks. I was typing on the computer and I had to stop because I was so engaged in what he and even everybody in the chat was like, wait a minute, this man is out here shedding tears for the fact that Jalen Brunson is so disrespected in this league and there's no respect on this man's name. None. There's no respect on the Knicks name. None. And it's simply because the Knicks are looked at like a joke, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I told you, I think part of the reason why is because the Knicks have struggled for many decades now. They've struggled. We haven't had a true makeup of a team, really. We haven't had a true point guard. The Knicks haven't been known as a playoff bound team. But this is a different age. This is a different day. We have a different coach. Tibbs has turned this team around. Leon has turned this team around. The Knicks have turned around themselves. This team is going places. But that's okay. While I would love for the Knicks to get the accolades, I think the Knicks being the underdogs is where they need to be because they have to prove. I think this first round is a good challenge for the Knicks. And I said this before, whether we was playing Milwaukee, Boston, whoever, Miami for the first round, this is a great challenge for the Knicks because the Knicks have a lot to prove and to shut a lot of people up because a lot of people are being very negative about the Knicks. They're still thinking this is funny and this is a laughing stock. There's nothing funny. There's nothing funny. The Knicks are having fun, yes. They're grinding, yes. They're persistent, yes. The talent is there, yes. But once the Knicks keep crawling and climbing and moving people and teams out of their way, the respect is going to come. The laughing on TNT and BSPN and all these networks that they do, keep laughing. The joke's going to be on all these people. I watch so many different videos throughout the day, different sports podcasters and analysts. I'm not talking about the YouTube content creators. I'm talking about people who's out in the media and the spotlight. And they're saying, I'm still hearing, yeah, the Knicks got the first two games, but they're not going to win against Philly. Philly's going to come back because they're the better team. They're the more talented team, which is bogus to me. Blows my mind to hear this. But if you guys get a chance, check out yesterday's show, Morning Brew Sports. Shout out to the Morning Brew Sports crew. Jay Boogie was on, and he literally brought it to church and had to let them know, stop disrespecting Jalen Brunson. Stop disrespecting this New York Knicks team. And
Yeah.
the haters are gonna hate. The Knicks are gonna let their game do the talking.
Yeah,
And
but there's a lot of teams who haven't accomplished what half what the Knicks have accomplished. And didn't have a full squad, but they managed to get with stay that get that 2 seed. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of teams who haven't won a championship, but somehow they get the accolades and top billing, and this player's A1, and he's they're serious contenders and things like that. So they just the Knicks just have to just continue to play their game, and again, so they can shut all the naysayers and all the haters and the doubters. It's just quiet them, silence them. That's all.
Exactly. And that's what the Knicks are just going to do. Ajay said Hornets never accomplished anything in this league. They still don't look at them as negative as they look at the Knicks. They just hate the whole New York thing. Yeah.
Agree.
And it's
Wow.
just unfortunate. It really is. It's just like, and then you have people who jump on the bandwagon when the Knicks are winning, when the Knicks are
Yeah.
not winning, or they're going through their droughts. All of a sudden, they're not Knicks fans. They're dragging the Knicks. It's a joke. It's just like, if you're not here, if you only here for a short amount of time and for a mini good time, keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like true Knicks fans, we've been here through the bad, the ugly, the struggle. We've been here through it all and through the good, and we still riding with the Knicks. So yeah, Orlando can't even beat Cleveland, and I'm a little surprised. But you know what? I think their true colors is showing because the lack of a playoff experience is not there for them. So I honestly thought that series would, again, it's not over, but I'm like, wow, these guys can't beat Cleveland, and we know Cleveland don't have no answer for us, so I ain't even worried about them. But that's okay.
Uh, Ron
Read
said,
it.
yeah, the 2 minute report said both Brunson and Hart fouled Tyrese Maxey on that play when Maxey lost the ball, and they said Nick Nurse should have been granted a timeout. Oh, well, exactly. Oh, now guess what? They're going to make up that call in Philly. No
Exactly.
matter what the Knicks do, they're gonna give Philly all the grace and all those calls, and it's a shame because that's what they do. They miss one. Guess what? They're gonna make up for it mightily, and I think that is so sad. On these refs, you missed it. Then okay, let's move on.
Right.
You call that next game evenly.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
I
and I agree with you. That's why I'm saying the Knicks got to be careful because the refs, they're going to side with Philly on Thursday. They're going to give them that friendlier whistle. Like, I already see that happening. I
oh
agree
yeah,
with
for
you
sure.
full fledged. Cece said, we also have no drama to exploit on this team in this new regime. Yeah, the Knicks don't really have any drama, which I think is a good thing because I think the focus needs to be on playing ball and winning, right? The goal needs to be we're trying to be championship contenders. We're trying to win. Um, and getting better. I think getting better every day, getting better each game. The Knicks don't have that. But I think on the flip side of that, one of the great things is, and this is another reason why I don't understand why people sleep on Jalen Brunson. I think he's very from a marketing standpoint. I sent you a link earlier. CN CBS did a little no, little mini interview with him and his mom and Rick. That was a nice piece. So if you guys haven't seen that, it is up on YouTube. CBS did a interview with Jalen Brunson that came out today. That was actually really good. A nice little piece, maybe about 11 minutes long. I don't even think it was that long. I think could have been like no more if it was close to 10 minutes. Um, Him and Josh Hart was on Hot Ones eating the hot wings. Um, Josh Hart, Devo, Brunson on a cover of Slam magazine. And I just think that, like, from a marketing standpoint, and it's no shade to Julius, but like, you didn't really see him in that many things. And if he did, I know, shout out to Tony Crow, he was saying he would get his son in the commercials and things like that with him, which is cute, it's dope. But I just think that like the Knicks haven't had a player like that in a long time where they're marketable and they're able to be in commercials. They're able to be in, you know, different things and whatnot. And I mean, but yet Jalen Brunson can't even get voted into the All Star game, which is crazy to me, you know. So, you know, we'll see. But like I said, the accolades, we're not chasing that. We chasing a championship. We taking it round by round. We're focusing on this one. The goal is to knock out Philly, which the Knicks will do, and we'll be ready for Milwaukee, Indiana. It's looking like it's going to be more like Milwaukee. I believe Milwaukee plays again tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they play at 8:30. So we'll see what happens with that game. Um, but yeah, I just think that, the hate is going to be there for the Knicks. The Knicks are going to get better. Um, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was trying to think if I know Brunson's been in a couple of more things. I just can't think off the top of my head, but I know he was.
Did the Dunkin' Donuts commercial? He has that
See?
the phone. Is that AT&T? I think. But he's getting out there, and I guess as a marketing, and it's a shame he has to do that because his game should be able to speak for him. But again, we know marketing sells, and this is what
But
the
it's
man.
not even that. Superstars get in commercials. Dame Lillard is in commercials.
Yeah.
Giannis is in commercials. Jokic is
Mhm.
in State Farm. They're in commercials. That's LeBron is in commercials. That's what superstars get. KD,
Yeah.
that's what they're in. But people are saying he's not a superstar. Then why the hell he on all these damn marketing standpoints on TV and on the commercials and on the internet?
Yeah. Those
They're
the
not
ones that
picking
get him.
anybody to do that. It's not a movie role and you're auditioning. These different companies, they want him. It sells. So, but like I said, the Knicks, we're not chasing accolades. We're out here focused on being championship contenders, winning. And I think while that pressure may be on Philadelphia, it is somewhat on the Knicks because the Knicks have to get out of the first round. It would be a failure to me if they didn't get out of the first round, especially against Philadelphia, who only has two good players. You
For
got it.
sure.
And listen, once we get out of this next round, and if you're facing whether it's Pacers or the Bucks, the Knicks could take either of those teams as well. Their only real true challenge is Boston. So it's no time to play games. It's time to stay focused. Let's get past these Philly cheesesteaks and let's move on to the next round. And if the Knicks, I would love for the Knicks to try to at least take Thursday's game as well and try to wrap this up so this way they can rest and be prepared for the next round rather than having to jump back into it, the second round so quickly. So if the Knicks can wrap this up as soon as possible, and this way guys can rest and be prepared for the second round, even better. So this team is locked in. Guys are focused. We're playing together. I definitely saw less mistakes in yesterday's game versus in game one.
And it has seven
Um,
turnovers, which
yeah,
is
which
that's
is
another thing.
exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. Keep the turnovers down. I just want to see the game speed up a little bit more offensively for the Knicks. And defensively, I want to see the Knicks really own it and lock down on guys. And while the Knicks are playing offensively, I want to see the Knicks attack the basket and get Embiid, get Maxi, get Laurie, get Oubre, get Batum, get these guys in foul trouble. That's what I'm looking for to see with these Knicks. And yeah, we'll see. Yeah, CC said it was an AT&T commercial.
Oh yeah. Hmm. What was that?
If they call the foul on Maxi pushing off, there is no two fouls on Maxi. Yeah. Well, Philly also hurt themselves because remember when they had challenged and Laurie wanted the challenge?
Oh yeah, but also, and Philly need to thank Lowry because he didn't call that foul on that it was that I forgot how many minutes or something like that. So he had a chance to call a timeout, excuse me. And he
Yeah.
didn't.
Him
So
or Embiid, they were too busy trying to get the ball.
yeah, because
No one called.
they wanted to take it to the Knicks. That's why. So
Yeah. Yeah, Maxi definitely did push off. I did see that. But it's just like Embiid. That's why I said if the Knicks frustrated Embiid, he's gonna foul guys. He's gonna foul them. He gets frustrated Embiid. When you get too in his face or you two all up on him, he gets upset. You know, he was limping up and down that court. The Knicks gotta take advantage of that. He's not able to, he has no lift, so he can't play defense like he really wants to. If the Knicks don't capitalize on that, I don't know what else to say. Capitalize on that. Um, like to see that go to 7 games. This first round series, Nick Yak. Why? Why would you want to see that if that's what you're talking about? But I think it's so important, Chad, that the Knicks really capitalize and attack the paint and get Philly in foul trouble early. Don't wait till the middle of the fourth quarter to do it. I want to see you getting them in foul trouble the first half, where now you got players with 3 and 4 fouls. That's not hard to do. The Knicks are capable of driving. But when you're driving, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Deuce, Devo, you got to protect the ball. Because guess what they're good at doing? Smacking that ball right out of your hand. So, yeah, I'm going to need guys to take it to the basket. Let's play a more inside game. I'm telling you, that's the recipe to get a nice, comfortable lead on Philly. The Knicks got to do their job maintaining the lead, but get them in foul trouble. So now Nick Nurse has no choice but to sit guys down because they have too many fouls. He's worried about keeping them in throughout so that he has them for the fourth quarter. But if the Knicks don't make this harder for yourselves, get these guys in foul trouble. Use the advantage. Embiid is a one-leg bandit. Yes, he's gonna score 30. So freaking what? You gotta get attack their weaknesses. Yes, Maxi is quick. He's gonna score. So what? What you're not doing is you guys are not getting them in foul trouble. That's what they're not doing. Y'all letting them play the whole game with only 1 foul, 2 fouls. How? That speaks volumes. That means no one's driving. You're not attacking the paint. You're not a where you so you mean to tell me the only person that does that is Brunson and Randle? Come on. Come on. Y'all ain't make it to the second round for nothing. Somebody else gotta say, well, let me start taking it to the basket so they can foul me and I can get stop the clock, get to the free throw, make my free throws, and now I also was able to get the defender in foul trouble and get a foul. So yeah, like yeah, they got hop along scoring 35 a game and don't even got 3 fouls. Y'all gotta be the man got blood gushing out of his knee. Come on now. Let's make this make some type of sense. New York Knicks. Getting beat in foul trouble. He hopping the man on a cane.
he
He
has
on a
no leg.
cane. He got a crutch under his arm and they still allow him to do what he want to do. The Knicks gotta capitalize. He's give him a handicap stick at this rate. He has a disability. And y'all allow him to do what he want to do. Let's make this make some sense. Attack, attack, attack. If Tibbs is not saying, I wish I could be in that media room. Like, what's the focus, Tibbs? Or I could ask him, are you telling these men to attack?
But we're gonna see definitely a different Brunson come out Thursday. This is just two bad games, but nah, we're gonna definitely see a different outcome with him.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. And the way Randall, the way Brunson played this season, he's definitely gonna get what he wants. Same thing with Isaiah Hartenstein. He's proven that he can get paid what he wants. So exactly, that's Embiid's crutch. Like y'all got Embiid on one crutch, and y'all still allowing this man to walk around an entire game with only two, maybe three fouls. That's concerning. I'm gonna need the Knicks to attack, but we'll see everybody. Anything else for you, Locks, before we get out of here?
No, we're gonna. This will be back early Thursday because they play Thursday 7:30, right? So we do like
Yeah,
a little
we'll,
recap.
yeah, we'll do a quick little show. There'll probably be things that's on the internet that come out that we could bring to the table. Maybe I'll have a little slide or two of things to show you guys. Um, as always, thank you guys for joining us. Hit the like button before you get out of here. 9 p.m. I believe Steph is coming on. So check her out there. Um, yeah, salute to the chat. Eddie C, Dwayne, Just Nix, Corey Lee, Boulevard 73, Sharice Duncan. Um, who else? Who else I'm missing here?
Cotton candy.
Cotton Candy, Nick Yak. I am Jarrell. I am Jarrell. I don't know if you're gonna be on later tonight. Because I know what the Knicks schedule now, unless you guys are probably coming on Friday. But salute to Jarrell, King Ribby RM. Salute to you as well, Coach SAR 617, always joining us. A Negro One, James Sumner. He said the Knicks play ball on the road no matter the opponent. That's true. The Knicks do have played well on the road this season,
Yeah.
and at home. So I agree with that. Salute Boulevard 773. Check him and Corey Lee there, 718 Boys. Subscribe to their channel if you guys haven't. They come on every Sunday at 10 a.m. So check them out. They're under the Blood Orange Tears channel on YouTube. 718 Boys with the Z at the end. Check them out. Good Knicks content. Who else?
Got
Still
cotton
and
candy.
what salute to Ron and John and their channel.
Oh yeah.
Ron is salute to Cuzzo, Tarsha. She said, I'm here. Gotta catch the replay.
Oh yeah.
Salute
Salute.
to the replay game. Because y'all do be running up the numbers. We appreciate that for sure. Salute to Ajay for joining us too. I don't know if Ajay's going on later tonight as well. They're going on at 9, guys. So definitely going to be in for a good show. Salute to CC for joining us as well. And Walter White, salute for joining us. He's been chiming into the chat. I love it. And I think I got everybody. Yeah, I think I got everybody. So yeah, stay tuned later on at 9 p.m. Queen Steph is going on. She's gonna bring the heat at 9, per usual, with a dope panel as always. We'll be back on Thursday. Knicks play Thursday. I want to see the Knicks attack the paint, and I want to see a quicker pace. We'll go over that some more and dive into that. And yeah, as always, have a great evening, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a good one tomorrow. And until next time, as always, peace.